since they won their only state title in 1970.
Oh, Mike, I got to cut you short there. That was in and out. Up the floor comes Chipola. Zachary just takes it himself. He had McLeod.
Charlton 6'3", Zachary 6'2".
Here's Irving in the corner. Missed. Rebounded by Tomlin. He's attacking the basket. It's Zachary. Blocking foul. A behind the back pass to Tomlin.
It boosts their defense. There we go. Just like that, McCree getting up off the floor.
They're saying not one, but two. Not one, but two. And that's it. Chipola, 33-21, outscored Chipola. Just wasn't enough.
Second quarter, Indian River shooting 50%, 13 for 26.
And here you go, you got an injured player for Chipola getting to put the sticker on the board. That's nice to include everybody as
team
far
involved. Winning is a great fate. It's a great feeling.
It is.
On crutches, the young man is out there still trying to dance.
All right, Chipola Nation, here we are with Coach Donnie Tindall of the state champion Chipola Indians. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, B. How are you?
Man, fantastic. What a night Saturday. That was absolutely incredible.
It really was. You know, it's the culmination of a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, a lot of tears, as they like to say. Our guys have been through a lot this season, as all teams across the country have, with the pandemic and not sure if you're even going to have a season and the season getting pushed back. The bottom line, I've got a great group of young men, and they've worked extremely hard. But, you know, one group I haven't talked a lot about this year I'd like to mention are our assistant coaches. My coaching staff is outstanding. Jordan Verholst, Brandon Shingles, James Demopoulos, Cameron Dozier. Of course, we can't forget about Jumpin' Johnny Smith,
John,
right?
that's right.
I mean, those guys work day and night, spend a ton of time with our players, and they're to be commended because they're a huge part of the success we've had this season.
Absolutely. And Coach, it was so nice to be over at Northwest Florida State in that beautiful Coliseum, and we had a really good contingent of Chipola fans out. And was that the biggest crowd that your kids have played for this year?
It is, you know, and as you know, so many places kind of a different setting. Some allow 20%, some not at all. And so it was the biggest crowd, and you're right, our fans were fantastic. I think they helped us get a little bit of momentum, particularly in the second game when we were struggling a little bit. So we appreciate them a ton, and I think everyone that was over there with the women winning the championship earlier in the day, and then us getting to do the same thing. Pretty big day for Chipola Indians fans.
Yeah, that was great. And Coach, what an interesting tournament. We started out the conference season, and we had a little misfire against Gulf Coast, our arch rival, for years. And then, doggone it, if we don't end up with them in the first game of the state tournament. I mean, it's just amazing.
Well, it was. And, you know, you look back, it's just crazy how the season can unfold, Brian. That was our first conference game. At the time, they were ranked 8th or 9th in the country, so we knew it would be a tough game. We go on the road. We basically control the game for 34, 35 minutes. And I hate to use this loosely because give Gulf Coast credit, but we gave the game away the last 5 minutes. But I really believe from that point on, our team started playing to win rather than not to lose. And as we've talked about, there's a difference. And we made a jump. We kept improving, and we never looked back. We played them 4 other times over the course of the season and won pretty handily each time. So Gulf Coast has a great coach. They have a great program, but our guys played well in the opening round. They
so
did.
that first game could have been a very important game in the complexion of the rest of our season.
Well, no question. And I think that, you know, again, if you win that game, maybe you feel good and you're not really as good as you think you are, and you lose a couple later. In that instance, I think it opened our eyes. Hey, we've got to grow up, we've got to mature, we've got to shore up a few things and get better. And to our kids' credit and our coaching staff credit, we did that.
Right. So we took care of Gulf Coast in the first round, 84-58. Then we had a little bit of a challenge with Eastern Florida State in the semifinal round. Let's talk about that game.
Well, again, I always like to give the opponent credit. Coach Schulman there does a fantastic job. They have a tough physical team. They play the right way. They don't beat themselves. They make you beat them. And it took us 40 minutes to beat them. They played very, very well. They competed. I thought like the last 6 or 8 minutes of the game, as we've talked about from day one, our style of play finally wore on them. And we try to use our press as what we call our weapon and take teams' legs the last 6, 8, 10 minutes of a ball game. And we were fortunate to do that. But that was a quality opponent. Could have went either way, and we were fortunate to get the win against a very well-coached team.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, in the championship against Indian River, 88-75, you know, early in the game, not a lot of scoring either way, and so we were kind of like, man, what's going on here? But we were able to get it together and really kind of take control.
Yeah, I think, you know, the biggest thing is our aggressiveness and our assertiveness was there. You're right, maybe early we struggled a little bit, but then Carlos Lemos really got it going, separated the game a little bit with some big threes, and we never really looked back. But that's a quality team, and probably if you look over 40 minutes, it may have been our most complete game of the season. And certainly it was the perfect time for that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we wanted. Well, Coach, let's talk about, you mentioned Lemus. He was on the all-tournament team along with Lance Irving and Naquan Tomlin. And then, of course, the MVP of the whole tournament was our point guard, Jaden Zachary. Let's talk about those guys and what they brought to the team.
Well, they've kind of been the backbone of our team all season. You look at our guards, Jay-Z at the point, Lance at the 2, Carlos is kind of a combo guard, can play all 3 positions. Those guys have led us in scoring, they've led us in assists, they've led us in steals, and in Carlos Lemos' situation, led us in rebounding many nights. So those 3 guys were not a surprise. The guy that's really made a jump for us the last month and a half of the season has been Naquan Tomlin. He's a guy that's ultra talented. He's 6'8", he's athletic, he's skilled. He wasn't always the toughest guy early in the season. A little bit of tough love, I think, has helped him turn the corner. And to his credit, you know, he's played outstanding the last month. So those guys have led us throughout the season. Was no different in the state tournament. And then give our big guys credit. They didn't make the all-tournament team, but Naheem McLeod and Achor were very good. Kendall Cotner came in and gave us a few minutes in the final game. So even though those guys didn't get the stats or the recognition, they played solid for us as well.
Yeah. Coach, I want to talk about a player who was not in the tournament. He injured his leg or foot or ankle or something in the last regular season game. Yeah. And what a moving moment when the players helped him go up on the ladder to cut down the net with his leg all taped up. Now, who is that young man?
We're talking about Chris Garner, KG. He goes by KG. KG is a captain on our team, a returning sophomore from a year ago, and has had a great season for us. Really helped us. Averages about 8 points, 4 assists a game, and a big part of what we've done this season. And as you mentioned, broke his foot. Had surgery this past Wednesday, is going to be out about 4 months. We plan on bringing him back next year since this year was a free year. Yeah. Great kid, wants to be a coach one day, so we tried to make a positive of it and say, look, I want you involved in the coaches' meetings. I want you sitting by us on the bench. Tell me what you see. Help coach the team. And he did exactly that. And his teammates love him. They absolutely love the kid. And you're right, it was cool when he cut the net down. We also had him put the championship sticker on the board at the end of the deal in the bracket, which was pretty cool.
That's great.
And the old coach maybe even shed a tear or two on that. It was pretty emotional.
Yeah, I saw you getting a little choked up there, Don.
But pretty cool for our team and that young man.
Yeah, that's great. Well, awesome job at the state tournament. I want to move on to the national tournament, and we start on Wednesday. What is that? The 21st? Yep. Wednesday the 21st, and we play the winner of the Northeastern Shelton State game.
Yeah, 2 quality opponents. I mean, when you get to this point in season, there's only 24 teams remaining. Everybody can play. Everybody has had phenomenal seasons, and it's no different with these 2 teams. Northeastern is probably very similar to an Eastern Florida. Skilled, tough, physical, play the right way. Shelton State in our league would be comparable to probably a Tallahassee, a Pensacola, and that they're skilled, they're athletic, they have great length. We actually scrimmaged Shelton State earlier in the season, so we're a bit more familiar with them. Well coached, the guy there has done a fantastic job the last 3 or 4 seasons. So either team we happen to play is going to be a quality opponent, Brian. I know you'll ask, well, who would you prefer to play? Have no preference at the end of the day. Like we said, kind of 2 different contrasting styles, but we've seen both types of teams throughout the year, so we've got to be ready to go, bottom line, regardless of who we play.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the way I've figured it here, if we can be successful in 3 games, we can get to what we want to get to, which is the championship game. So it looks like there's some teams like Southern Idaho, Coffeyville, Vincennes, I mean, it just gets better and better.
Well, it does. You know, you look at that bracket, and there's some perennial powers on that bracket in regard to College of Southern Idaho, who we could play pretty early. A possibility of playing a team like Vincennes or Coffeyville or Odessa, Texas in the semifinals. So no matter who you play, we understand it's going to be tough. But we just hope we get to continue to play. It'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And then on the other side, Salt Lake and South Plains, you mentioned as 2 of the best teams on that side, so might end up with one of those. And again, the championship is on the 24th, which is a Saturday, and all these games will be webcast live. You can go to our website. I'm sure we'll have a link at chipolaathletics.com, and you can go and read about the NJCAA tournament. They put on a great tournament out in Hutchinson, Kansas. Chipola's probably been to the national tournament as many times as any team in the country. I think we've won more state titles than more Florida Region 8 titles than any other team. So we're a familiar face in Hutchinson.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how the coaching world can end up. You know, when I was 25 years old, I took St. Catherine Junior College to the national tournament. The first time in the history of the school in my first year as being a head coach. And here it is 25 years later, our first year at Chipola, going back to Hutch. So I've kind of come full circle in my coaching world, but it's going to be fun. They do exactly what you said. They put on a first-class show. It'll be quite a thrill for our players to be part of this.
So, Coach, when are y'all heading out? When are y'all leaving?
Well, because it's come tough scenarios with tickets, the best we could do with a nice rate is we're going to leave Saturday morning. And we'll leave Saturday, get in there Saturday afternoon, settle in, practice Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, go over and watch some of the games on Tuesday, let our guys get acclimated a little bit, and then we play Wednesday evening.
Okay, great. And hopefully we're still playing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we're just so proud of y'all and what you've accomplished this season, and we're conference co-champs, we're state champs, and now we're headed to the national tournament, and we wish you the best out there.
Well, I appreciate it. I want to take a quick second just to thank our fans, our community, our campus community have been absolutely amazing this year. I know it's been trying times for everybody, but those of you that have hung in there with us, our players and our coaches certainly appreciate it, so thank you very much.
All right. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, B.